So we're going to be talking about teaching the stay cue. Before we actually get into getting Kim into position, she does not like when I record videos. She would much rather play. So really quick, before we get into actually getting Kim into position and working on stay, I want to let you know that this video is a two-part series. So this is the first video of a two-part video series. If you're watching this on Premiere, then the next video on my channel will be the second part to this video, so make sure you are subscribed. If you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button. When you do, a bell will pop up. Click the bell, select all notifications, that way YouTube can notify you every time I post a new video. And when the second part of this video goes up live, then you'll also get a notification. So the reason that I'm breaking this into a two-part video series is because we need practice. We need to start training the stay cue in one position before we can actually start adding distance. So what I mean by that is actually getting our dog to understand what stay means, and this can take some time, and of course this is going to vary with every dog. Every dog is different, but before we can actually start adding distance, we need to get really good at what the stay cue means. We're building a bond with our dog. We're building a communication pathway with our dog. So as you go through the beginner dog training series, you're going to start seeing that you and your dog are understanding each other a little bit better every time you train. And that's the whole point. And guys, that's the key to any good training routine with you and your dog, is that building that trust, building that communication between you and your dog. That's what we want to be doing. And so I definitely want you to start from the beginning. Even though you may see something that seems super easy, that you're like, I don't want to waste my time on this, you're not wasting your time, I promise you, because you're building trust, you're building a bond, you're building communication with you and your dog, and there is nothing that can replace that in the entire world. And you're gonna notice, if you have multiple dogs, or if you start training with your dog now and 10 years down the line you have another dog and you come back to these videos, or you remember what to do and you start training with that dog, you're gonna notice that every dog is different. And the way our dogs communicate is very, very different. And I've had multiple dogs in my lifetime thus far, and I can tell you, and I have trained so many dogs. I mean, I have trained hundreds of dogs, and every single one of them is just a little bit different. And of course, there are things that are going to be similar between dogs, body language and everything that's just genetically bred into a dog, what they get from their canine ancestors, that's going to be pretty similar. But every dog is different. Some dogs are more gentle than others. Some dogs are just love to roughhouse. Some dogs are very vocal. Some dogs are very quiet. And learning your dog is going to make or break your training. So let's talk about the stay cue. And in all reality, there are three phases of the stay cue. We learn what stay means, right? So we teach our dog what we expect them to do when we say the word stay. Or I'm also going to show you, we put our hand up flat like this, like a stop sign. So, and again, this is something I do with every dog regardless. And I have talked about this in previous videos. Even if your dog is not deaf, even if your dog can hear, I really highly encourage you to incorporate hand signals. And the primary reason is because we never know, right? We could wind up adopting a dog tomorrow that is deaf, that was born deaf, or something unfortunate happened to them and they are now deaf. Also, as dogs age, it's just one of the facts of life. Sometimes things happen. Our eyesight can go, hearing can go. So you definitely want to make sure you are doing vocal cues and hand signals whenever possible. Even if you don't start out with hand signals, you can always start adding them in. Your dog will start picking up on it. If your dog already knows a verbal cue and you start incorporating a hand signal, your dog is going to really understand so much quicker what that hand signal means. So I would encourage everyone to not just do vocal cues, but also to use hand signals. I think it can really come in handy. So like I was saying, there are actually three 3 different segments of learning a stay cue. The first one, as I was just saying, is actually learning what we want out of them when we say stay, or when we put our hand up like this. This is our hand cue for stay. Learning that is going to be the first step, and that's primarily what we're going to go over in this video. Once we get good at that, once your dog is really understanding what you want, then we're going to start adding in distance. And once we get good at that, we're going to start adding in distraction. So that's going to be part 2. So definitely make sure that you watch this video first, then the next video, the part 2 video, where we add in distance and distraction. All right, so I've got my training treats here, and I made the mistake before filming this video. I went to Chick-fil-A for lunch, and my dog got a piece of a chicken nugget, and so now I know that was too high of a value to be able to give her lower value treats right now. And since I am recording a video, I cut up part of a nugget into teeny tiny little bites, and that's what we're going to be using as training treats, just so I can show you in this video how we do a stay. And again, this is a part 1 of the stay, where we're going to be working in close contact with our dog. We're just going to get down the behavior that we want. We're not going to be adding distance. We're going to try to get increase our duration at this point, but we need to start with even just a second. So what we want to do is get our dog into a sit position, and then what we're going to do is give the cue stay, and simultaneously put our hand out like a stop sign, like I was showing you previously. It's just a flat palm. This is the hand signal that I'm going to be using in conjunction with the verbal cue, which is stay. And as long as your dog stays, even for a second, we're going to reward that. We're going to praise them. We're going to give them a treat. Now, if your dog is not very food motivated, try a higher value reward. And if they still are not very food motivated, find out what does motivate them. Maybe it's play. Maybe they have a favorite toy or a favorite ball that they really love. You can use that as a reward. The whole idea here is to ingrain in them the behavior that we're asking for when we say the word stay, and we give the hand signal for stay, which is a flat palm, kind of like a stop, right? But we don't have to be like mean or jerky about it. We can be calm about it and nice about it, because we're all learning here. Training is fun. So what we're gonna do is get our dog in the stay position, and I'm gonna lure her into position. So come on, Sweetie. Sit. Yes, good girl. All right, so I rewarded her for getting into position, for luring her into position, and for that sit. So now I'm just going to say stay. Yes, good job. So as long as your dog stays in that position, we want to reward that. And we want to gradually start increasing to 2 seconds, to 5 seconds, to 6 seconds, up until we can get to about 30 seconds. 30 seconds is a long time. Count in your head if you need to. But what we want to do is get our dog to stay and gradually increase the duration. So I want her back in a sit. So stand. Okay, I'll do the sit. Yeah, we'll do the sit. Good job. Okay. Stay. That wasn't a stay. You lay back down. Come on. Sit. Stay. Back up. You want to stay in the sit position, okay? Stay. Almost. We almost had it. Okay, come on, back up. Up. Good girl. Okay. Stay. Guys, did you think I mean lay down? We're not doing a lay down. We're not doing a lay down. It's okay that your dog is trying to figure out what it is you're asking, and right now she thinks I'm telling her to lay down, and I just have to teach her that that's not what I mean. What I mean is for her to stay in that sit position. So let's get back up. Sit. Yes. Stay. Yes, good girl. Good girl. Stay. Back up. She is a dog of comfort, I will say. Stay. Come on. Want to get back into a sit. Sit, yes, good job. Now we're gonna stay. Yes, good girl. That's my good girl. Okay, stay. Okay, yes, good girl. So we're just gradually increasing the duration. So she's starting to understand that I don't want her to lay down, that I want her to stay where she is. So as soon as I turn around and talk to you, she's gonna lay back down because she is a dog of comfort. Believe me, she seeks out comfort above all else. So let's see if we can get her back in a sit. Sit. Yes, that's my good girl. Stay. Yes, good job. Good job. Stay. Yes, good girl. That's my good girl. We got to 10, didn't we? Okay, ready? Get back up. Can you sit? Yes, sit. Good girl. Okay, stay. 12. Come back up. We almost got it. Stay. Good job, good job. So you notice there, I counted to 15, and as soon as I got to 15, mind you, I was just at 10 before I decided to go all the way up to 15. Once I got to 15, she laid back down. So that was just pushing her a little bit too far, and that's okay. If your dog does this, we just want to go back to the last point where they successfully did what we were looking for, which for her was 10 seconds. And it's okay, because I'm going pretty fast right now with her because I'm filming this video for you. So you don't need to go so fast with your dog. I'm pushing her, and I may be pushing her just a little bit too much. Fortunately, this isn't anything strenuous, but I am pushing her because I'm recording this video for you. So understand that when you just go in 1-2 second increments at a time, then your dog is going to be able to understand a little bit better what it is you're wanting. They're going to be able to get past that 1 or 2 second increments really easily, really quickly. You don't have to, go in don't go in 5 second increments. I think that is quite a bit for a dog that is just learning. So just gradually increase to where you can get to about 30 seconds, and we'll try this one more time. Sit. Yes, that's my good girl. All right, stay. Almost. Okay, you want to sit? Yes, good job. Okay, last one, we're gonna stay. Yes, good girl. This is my good girl. Okay, we're all done. We finished the treats, so we're done with training for the moment, okay? So, that is the idea. That is how we start teaching our dog how to stay. We're just teaching them what behavior we expect when we give a certain cue word, which of course you saw me, I'm doing the hand signal as well as the verbal cue for stay. And so that's all we are trying to do right now. We're trying to teach them what behavior we expect for that particular cue word and increase duration slowly. So that's what I want you to work on at this point. And I definitely want you to work on this for at least a few days. Don't overdo it. And I know I've said this before in other videos, training sessions should only be about 10 or 15 minutes at a time at the most. I don't want you getting frustrated. I don't want your dog getting frustrated. I don't want either of you getting bored. So really limit it to about 10 to 15 minutes at a time. And of course you can train different things in that 10 or 15 minute training session. So you can kind of keep things fresh and new for you and your dog in a training session. Don't work on the same thing for 10 or 15 minutes. you and your dog are going to get either frustrated or bored, and we don't want that. We want to always end on a high note. So when you are ready to end your training session, make sure you end with something that is pretty quick and easy for your dog to do. That way you can provide them with a reward and praise, and you are ending on a positive note. Again, this is part 1 of a 2-part series. So in the next video, we will be talking about how to increase distance. So once we get down the duration with our dog, we want to start increasing that distance between you and your dog with the stay cue. So I will see you in the next video. Really quick though, before we go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. When you hit the subscribe button, a bell will appear. Click the bell, select all notifications. That way YouTube can notify you every time I post a new video. Thank you again so much for being here with me in this video, and I'll see you in part 2.